The Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 119th Congress.
The U.S. House voted today to re-elect Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson to lead Congress. There were 3 Republican holdouts initially. Sources tell ABC News Donald Trump called them and to eventually change their votes, bringing Johnson to victory.
Other lawmakers elected in November were sworn into office today. Republicans now control both chambers.
Denver 7's Brandon Richard talked with Colorado lawmakers about what they expect in the new Congress.
The 119th Congress gavelled into session Friday as lawmakers elected in November were sworn into office.
The House will come to order.
Republicans now control both chambers, the Senate and the House, where they hold the slimmest majority in nearly a century.
Well, the House of Representatives is a reflection of our country. And right now we are in a very tense, very tumultuous political time in our country and social time in our country, and the House of Representatives is a reflection of that.
Colorado's Jason Crow is starting his 4th term. The Democratic congressman says he hopes to find common ground with President-elect Donald Trump and Republicans. But he says since they're in charge, it's up to them to reach out to Democrats.
That is not our responsibility. That is their responsibility. But I will always stand ready to work with them when and where I can.
Crow says he plans to spend the next 2 years fighting to protect reproductive rights and the environment. Says he'll also look for ways to ease the financial burden on Colorado families.
Well, I'm going to continue to work really hard to reduce the costs for Coloradans, reduce the cost of housing, reduce the costs of everyday items so that people can build lives and have middle-class lives and support their families.
On the Republican side, newly elected Congressman Gabe Evans believes lawmakers will find common ground.
I mean, we all agree on the basic premise that we should have a safe community. We should have affordable communities. We should have the ability for people to succeed and actually live the American dream. And so that common ground already exists.
Evans says he'll focus on reducing cost and finding ways to fix the immigration system.
That we want to make sure that we are following a comprehensive plan to not only secure the border, but make sure that we are taking care of American citizens. And
Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert thanked former constituents in the 3rd District as she was sworn into a new seat representing the 4th District.
This isn't a goodbye. This is just expanding our territory.
One of the first big jobs Congress has is to certify the presidential election January 6th, making way for President-elect Donald Trump to be sworn in January 20th. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
Taking a closer look at this session, some Democrats are making history in Congress. U.S. Representative Sarah McBride of Delaware is the first transgender member of Congress. Julie Johnson from Texas is making history, too, as the first open LGBTQ+ member of Congress to represent the South. And for the first time in history, 2 black women will serve simultaneously in the U.S. Senate. Democratic Senator Lisa Blunt, Rochester of Delaware, and Angela Alsobrooks of Maryland.